Good morning, Danae. This is Barbara, and we are going to have um, this is my yoga final for the fitness class, and hope it works. This is my assistant Hunter. You'll be seeing him perhaps throughout the exam. Now I'm going to begin the practice. Welcome. This is an invitation to lengthen our spines, to fill our bodies with good life-giving breath, and to claim our place in humanity and creation. This is a practice. This is a practice to support the back and enhance the breath. Let us begin. We'll start by breathing slowly in time with our head rolls. Do a 180 with the head rolls both ways. Supporting our spine through the sit bones, keeping tall, keeping long. Adding in the neck and shoulders, doing a 360, easy and slow. I'm reading from a script, so don't mind if my eyes wander around. You can see in the background I've done some internet shopping. So it's all about shopping and yoga these days. Inhale for the arms overhead. And down, exhale. Inhale. And down, exhale. Let's do side bends both ways. I am grounding my right palm into the ground and feeling that, and grounding both sit bones and feeling the lovely stretch in my left side. Coming down, exhale. A little stuffed up nose, sorry about that. So I might not do the perfect nose breathing. Grounding both sides. Exhale. Try not to make the sound effects, I know. One more time. Grounding butt and arm for the long stretch. Hope the sound is working. If not, it's probably just as well. One more. Keeping the back long and erect. Now I'm going to do that and add a circle described on the ground with my palm. A large out, bending from the hip crease. Allongé to the back. One more, bending from the hip crease. I love talking to myself. Okay, other side, grounding, and feel that right hand stretch. Describing a semicircle to the ground. Allongé to the back. Bend from the hip crease. The waist is not a joint, the hips are. Or it's not much of a joint. And one more. Now we're going to go into a forward fold. Bend from the hip crease. You won't be able to see me. Wait, but yet now you can. Okay. Okay. These phones are made for right-handed people. And I'm concentrating on keeping my back relatively flat, my neck in line with the rest of my spine, so not holding it too far up or down, but extending that line through my head, through the spinal line through my head and neck. Concentrating on bending from the hip crease and breathing deeply and creating length. We're always taller when we get up in the mornings because our spinal processes expand and get moist and juicy, and then gravity sends us back down again. So it's like we're living a big tide. Now we're going to go into a seated spinal twist, arms in second position, If I had more room, it would be nice, but I'm going to use my core to do that twist. Keep it long and lean. When I feel like I could hold it for a while, I plant the rear hand on my rear end, and the left hand on my knee or thigh, and I hold that for a little while. For the inhale, creating length. For the exhale, extending the twist. Inhale, exhale, one more. And back up. Inhale, exhale, back to second position. Twisting the other way, using the core muscles and not dragging ourselves around by our arms. Back where I feel like I could be here for a while. I feel like it's sustainability. It's all about spinal sustainability, right? Keeping those shoulders back. Whoops, I fell back. Inhale for length. Exhale to expand the twist a little bit more. 2 more times on my own breath, since I'm the boss here. I'm going to do that one more time. Second position, twist, inhale. It's nice to be able to do yoga in front of a window, a nice corner window, although what I mostly see is telephone poles, but it's still sky. One more time. On the left. And if you like, you can extend the stretch. Oh, got to put those shoulders back. And back down to center. Now we're going to come to tabletop. Shoulders and palms should be roughly aligned. Here's my assistant again. And so should knees and hips. And we will always concentrate in these 4-point positions on keeping the back neutral, not too arched and not tilted, and keeping our abs, especially our lower abs, engaged somewhat. And that will create a strong trunk for us, a strong foundation. And let's learn to carry that throughout our daily lives for spinal sustainability. And let's go into cat-cow. We will, first we have to inhale before we exhale, right? So let's inhale and then go exhale into cat, because we like that better, don't we, Mr. Hunter? Okay, and exhale. Wait, inhale to cow. Inhale to cow. We like cow too. They give us milk and cheese. And ice cream, which I'm going to have once this final is over. I can't tell you how much. This retreat is over, and then I have an onco visit on Tuesday, and then it's hot fudge sundae time. Because they weigh you at the oncologist. Let's do 4 on our own breaths. Exhale. Rounding. Inhale. Rounding the other way. Now we're going to go to bird dog. So we are going to extend our right leg and flex the toes to flex the foot to keep everything activated, the whole leg structure. So we're activated in our core, in our back, in our butt, and now in our opposite arm. So we're going to reach out and we're going to reach for length. Inhale and exhale. Trying to keep everything as motionless as possible except what's actually supposed to be moving. We'll do this 4 times on our own breath. Exhale. and back down other side. Left leg out, flexing the foot, activating all the structures, keeping the back supported and the abs a little bit engaged, or a lot engaged. My nightstand is in the way, but this is supposed to be, everything is flush, the arms and the legs, high toes, so you can see that's flushed. I don't know that form, but at least I know what the good form is supposed to be. It's hard to demo it. I need a 3 camera setup. And exhale. One more. Now we're going to stretch out what we just, the back. So we're going to take our right leg and keeping that foot flexed, we're going to crisscross it over our left side. Notice the stretch, and we're going to stretch, still engaging everything, and breathe into the right side of your body so you get a nice stretch. Let's take that on the other side. The left leg flexes and the foot and crosses over the right. And we'll take a look at our toes to intensify that lengthening and that stretch. Should have did it on the other side, so I'll do it too. Okay. Looking at the toes, that helps the stretch. Okay. Now we're coming into the body of our practice. Let me screw the screen down with my script. We're going to do a series of down dog and plank. Now that we're warmed up a little bit. Up to down dog, keeping the shoulders down and back. Pressing through the arms, especially the area, we call it the index finger line and the thumb and the pinky finger line. Keeping all of that nice and stretched. And in cat language, this must mean something wonderful, because my assistant constantly calls me to the mat. Literally, he calls me to the mat. That's an expression I've heard. And he loves me to do this. That must mean I love you in cat language, because he loves it. I know, Hunter, Mommy is doing yoga. Let's come to plank. Come forward. Keeping the abs engaged and the back supported. Do not hang weight off the back. So this makes a lot of muscles stronger. We'll come back down to down dog. Press your limbs away from each other. So the hands press forward to the forward of the mat. And your legs and press backwards towards your closet full of internet shopping. Move to plank again. What are you doing, Hunter? And back. The back is still supported, and the line of energy goes from your pooter out up into the sky as if you could shoot a rocket off your spine. What are you doing? And now we'll come down, gradually knees to the mat, and keeping the elbows close to the body. We will do hips, chest, chin, and we'll take a little rest here while I remember what I'm supposed to do next. Ah yes, now we're going to do locust, sometimes called Superman. Let me lots of phone cords. We're going to do Superman. Arms out, moving the breakfast dishes. And we're going to do half locust, alternating sides, and then full. So, that means the left arm can go up, and your head should be, again, keep the spine needs to be, and the neck and the head kind of have to describe the same line. So you're not pushing your head too far up or too far down. And she should be looking maybe slightly ahead of you on the ground. And keeping that length in the spine, maybe scooting yourself forward to keep all the length in your spine. Right leg goes up, and so does left arm. Keep that. You're using your and shoulders back. Whoops. See, I'm busted. I keep forgetting to do it. And you want to make sure you're doing this move with your back muscles, with the muscles in your back, rather than your diaphragm and or anything in front. So you don't want to go as you breathe. That's bad form. Bad form. All right, let's hold that for, okay, back down. Other side. Inhale. Shoulders down and back. Legs up. And it doesn't have to be far off the ground, just long. You're working for length and good form, keeping the shoulders back. Let's take that on the other side one more time. And now let's go to full locust. All four limbs off the ground. I'm going to hold it for 5 breath cycles. And down. We'll go to child's now, and we'll stay in child for a little while. Concentrate on child's isn't sort of a default pose. It does a lot of work. So what's best is to think about the energy in your back going out your back towards your closet of internet shopping, and the arms and that other energy going out in front. So you're stretching here. Okay. Now we're going to, oops, I forgot a pose. We're going to stretch more on child by walking our left arm over the right hand. And again, really stretching out our spine, our torso, and our arms. Taking that to the other side. When we're done, we're going to come up to standing. into tabletop. Arms overhead. Let me move the camera again. My arms are overhead. Trust me on this. And I'm going to come into forward fold. Exhale. And to really get the maximum, I have to pooch my belly fat. So I can get that nice fold in there. That's so awful, but it's true. I'm going to hang in here for a while. Best to keep a micro bend in the knee, because you want to feel the stretch, not exactly behind your knee, but in the muscles of the back of the body, the gastrocnemius, the soleus, the hamstrings. All of those need to be stretched and strengthened to keep your back healthy. And let's come halfway up. Inhale, keeping the back flat. Back down again. Yeah, huh, Hunter? All the way up, keeping the spine tucked slowly. What are you doing now? I'm going to do that one more time. Oh, the sun is coming out. Awesome. See, we're doing suns. This is part of Surya Namaskar where the sun is in fact coming out. So we called it. Exhale to go down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale down again. Inhale up. Dive up. Let's expand ourselves towards the sun. Let's take up space. Let's think about Tadasana and how we can enact spinal stability and sustainability and embody spinal health as yogis by practicing Padabandha. That's the toe line, the pinky line, the meat of the ball of your foot, and your heels all stay grounded onto the ground. Your hips are more or less over all of this. Your spine is new, your pelvis is neutral, not too back, not too far forward. Your area between your pelvis and your intercostals is pulled up, which feels good and which adds height. Literally, I got measured. I was a half an inch taller after doing ballet and yoga for a few months. Your shoulders are more or less over your hips. Your head and your ears are more or less over your shoulders. This is a sustainable posture. Your two hips are level. You're not cocking your hip all the time. And this is what's people call a sustainable spinal posture. And we'll raise our arms wide and breathe in. And look at the telephone poles and the sidewalk in beautiful Menlo Park, California. Breathing in, breathing out. And let's take our hips a little wide, our stance a little wider. And I'm going to do an exercise that is good for stretching out the lower back and training the back not to be tense and not to spasm. So we're going to raise, let's say, our left hand, and our our body is still in that nice neutral spine, except the legs are a little farther apart. The other hand is to your side, and so you're just going to pull up like a ballerina and bend laterally. I don't know if you can see that. You can, and your neck should be, again, pretty much extending the line of the rest of you. You can look overhead and see your hand, but not necessary. Better to keep a good line. Other side goes up. Inhale. Bend laterally. Breathe into that right side. Feel the length. And as you get more accustomed to this, you can hold the posture as long as you like. I think I only owe you a 40-minute class, so we won't stay in this posture too long. Let's do that one more time though. Pulling up, breathing in, arms up, arm down. What, Hunter? Mommy's doing yoga. One more time on the other side. What, honey? Here, So this is what it looks like in real life. Okay, thank you. Now I'm going to do tree pose into Uttanasana. And it helps when you're doing any kind of one-legged balance to have the drishti that's fairly far out. I'm finding it really helpful to look out my window and looking at the phone poles and people's hedges and stuff. I'm going to start this on the left leg, which actually is my weaker leg for this kind of thing. It's my gesture leg. But putting the weight onto the left leg, keeping that Pada Bandha, keeping it grounded, not pulling my spine, my pelvis, arching it in a misguided attempt to find a better balancing position. And I'm going to lift my free leg up and place it, place the heel probably above my knee. And I'm going to, these positions look static, but they are not. They are always dynamic positions. So you're driving your bottom half into the ground and your upper half towards the sky. It would be bad ballet form to rest your free foot against your thigh, but this is not ballet, this is yoga, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to hold this for a count of 3. Driving up, driving down. And down. Other side. Hunter, don't let me step on you. Okay, Pada Bandha. Neutral spine. I'm not even turning out, not much. And cueing the drishti. This is my stronger side for balance. This was my arabesque leg for skating and my landing leg for jumps. That's true of about 85% of people. Driving down, driving up. This is not a static position. There will be micro moves all the time and down. Now let's go to Uttanasana, which is a great pose for the back and for spinal stability. And actually it's called chair pose, but this is really how we should be sitting more of the time, or at least so I'm told by people who are experts in this. You are going to stick that behind out into the world, and you're going to keep the spine long and flat. You're not going to arch it. And here's a variation that I'm told is good for back pain. Instead of lifting your arms, you will put your palms, the meat of your palms, into your hip crease, and you will traction your back as far as you can. Breathing in. And the other thing this teaches you to do is really own your putter when you sit, and not to perch on the front of chairs, which some people say contributes to a lot of our back problems because it doesn't exploit the natural ability of our spinal structures to support us. Let's take that in the classic position, arms more or less in front of the ears. And again, I like to think about the neck continuing the line of the back. And here we're going to put our weight slightly forward. That's probably so we can accentuate the backward energy of our putter and our hips going, our putter going out. Okay, come to neutral standing. What are we doing next? Okay. $30, my God. We're gonna go into child's pose, and then from there we're going to roll onto our backs and do Navasana. And what we're doing is stretching out the back more and doing some work on our core, our abs. I was always told to do core work last because if your core is weakened from exercise, it's hard sometimes to hold other positions. I'm pushing my knees into my chest so as to lengthen the spinal structures and give my lower back a nice massage. I'm nodding yes with my, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm nodding yes with my spine. Now I'm going to nod no with my spine. I'm initiating the movement with my abs, not my back. That's the lateral movement, the side to side movement. Initiate with the abs. Now I'm going to, lift everything up in the air for a little gentle inversion. Knees, feet to the ground. And we're going to come into Navasana. My assistant is not very good at counting, but normally if I have maybe an assistant in a higher pay grade, he will count to 10. Or we can trade off. One thing I like to trade off is listing 10 favorite foods that I will eat when this is all over. So let's do that. And I'm going to do it with a little modification. I'm going to count to 10. And we'll say 1, hamburgers. 2, hamburgers. 3, hamburgers. 4, malted milk vanilla. 5, hamburgers. 6, sushi, which I can get at Draeger's, but it's more fun to go to an actual sushi parlor. So in that vein, 7, tempura. 8, hot fudge sundae in an actual ice cream parlor. 9, gosh.